Yo, yo, yo. What's good? What's good? It's Stormybman, and I am back. Welcoming you to Nerds on Culture with Stormybman for this Monday, December 29th, 2025. This is number 148 in the series of Nerd shows. And this evening, we are having an end of the year show where we speak on some of what we've come through this year and what could be on the horizon for the coming 2026, and open discussion. We may even open things up where we can get some of our supporters to come up and tell us a thing or two about what they love being a nerd. So with that being said, I want to introduce my co-host we got in the building this evening, True Titan. What's going on with you, brother? How you doing?
We've made another year, haven't we?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We're all blessed. Get up every morning. And I'd say the year is pretty productive. It's been pretty revealing. You know, lost some people, made a new friend here and there, you know, and built some relationships, ended some unproductive ones. But it's this show is always a relaxing situation for all of us, because we're not talking about the sport that don't love us back. What we're talking about is things that make us smile. And what we're going to do here today is we're going to talk about a bit of everything. If y'all would like to join the panel and educate us about things that we haven't spoken about, things that we don't know about, you know, this is what this platform is for. You know, everybody's a nerd. I'll give you an example. Stormy, anytime something comes up on your algorithm and they talk about teaser for Doomsday, don't you click on it? They give me They get me every time. Even the made up stuff is kind of cool. Even the made up stuff is kind of cool. But I was like, man, but I want to know everything, even though it's already coming out. The Thor one, the Captain America one, the Steve Rogers one, because there's a difference. This X-Men one, people are saying, yo, they should have led with that. So something happens with the X-Men when they merge in the universes. Something happens there, and I can't wait to see it. But this is what we're doing here. So we're gonna relax, and we're gonna talk about a little bit of everything. Movies that clapped this year, man, and what we're looking forward to in 2026 and beyond, man. But I was pretty satisfied this year.
Yeah, and I want to, before we get going and cooking too far, because once we start cooking, sometimes we be moving through. I want to acknowledge the brother EJ. He sent me some more merchandise, which I'm gladly sporting this evening. This is this shirt here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like I say, well, I'll wear it tonight, especially I got it today, is in the mail. So salute to the brother EJ. He's such a trooper, man, and a supporter. Love people like that, man. Because stuff like that comes around, just as you were talking a moment ago. It's right on time. It's like guys never know. We deal with a lot, and for people who are out there and tune in to our channels, and we what we go through to be able to bring content to the airwaves is like, people must just think that we just sit up and be like, yeah, we're gonna stroke this one off or whatever. But a lot goes behind the creative process, man, and especially when you're not doing it for views and clickbait and things like that. You're taking the time out to put thought process behind what you're doing, the artistic side, and I know you understand that because you're an artist just like I am. The creativity side, people don't think about what you go through, and then to have people come and try to troll you and bring negativity, and it's like there's plenty of spaces out there for that, but try to see things from the other perspective sometimes. And while I'm even speaking in that manner, I want to acknowledge and thank you for earlier today during your live broadcast when you were talking and you was telling the person that you were addressing to not bring that stuff to my ear, because I don't entertain that stuff, and it's so disrespectful. It's like me coming to your home and then starting a fight with somebody in your home, and it don't have nothing to do with your environment, your safe haven, whatever, but being just disruptive to your peace, disruptive to your space and everything. And see, that's also what comes along with many of the content creators out here who actually drive and have had their channels and content driven by disrespect.
That's right.
So people think that this is how that works. No, that's not how that works. It may work where you were, but as you often say, check the temperature of the room when you enter. Maybe this is not that type of party. You know what I'm saying? Because I think, when you walk into a place and you find out, everybody here is strapped. Yeah, you ain't the only one.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
you might not even get a chance to put your hand on yours because there are some people locked and loaded and ready to go. So it's like, you know what I mean? And people need to be aware of that. So, but yeah, what we do, and we support one another. Like I said, some of us have our own way, that we do what we do. But that doesn't mean that we're in opposition of one another. We
Right.
support still. It's just that, sometimes we just have to check people and let them know. So, yeah, I just kind of wanted to say that. We've been at this, what now, 3 years, Nerd Show?
Don't even feel like it, right?
Yeah, but it's like, my goodness, look at what we have done. It's like we have actually carved out a space for
Yeah.
something that wasn't there,
Right.
you know? And there are channels that do stuff like this along the lines of the content that we cover and things of that subjects, I should say, that we cover, but not how we present, because we just take it as a part of how we grew up, our experience, our interactions and interactivity, and to be able to reminisce and call to mind when life was so much easier as children and things of that nature. And you never want to lose that joy that you had from being a child, being able to see something. Like, you remember how we used to just get so excited when we would see something for the first time, or
Man.
just, and it could be, I don't care, it could be a comic book, it could be a toy on television, a trailer for a TV show, a trailer for a movie, a car driving down the street. Now, for example, with that, Drew and chat, have you ever, like, when you was a kid, you and your friends be sitting out and a real bad car drive down the street?
I know where you're going.
That's my car.
That's my car.
That's my car right there.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. We all did that, man. And there's just certain things we don't see. That's nostalgia right there. Because at a certain point, these kids stop doing it. They grow up too fast. That's why you have to monitor what they do, and you have to be open to it. And you have to be, you can't hide anything. You just got to have conversations nowadays. In our day, and you're just a little older than me, but in our day, we had real childhoods. A child stayed in a child's place.
Yeah.
I remember going to the store with my aunt and holding her hand, and she's going, and she'll run into her.
Be reminded to stay in a child place. That was the thing that came from the adults. What, stay in a child's place? You'll hear that so much, you get tired of hearing.
Yep. I got, speaking of that, I got a few stories. One of my aunts, she was real slim and she had those bony hands. You know why I'm pointing out her bony hands? Because every time she grabbed it, the damn thing hurt.
It hurts, yeah.
It hurt like hell, man. And I remember I went to the store with her. She said, "Come on." She used to say, "Bring your ass." Y'all understand? I've been hearing that since the 70s and early 80s. Bring your ass. Come on, we going to the store. We going to the store. And she had a dog. It was a mutt mixed with all kinds of things. But that dog never barked, and it was so nice. It just never barked. And I remember walking with her, and we got to the store. And she ran in. Now, I was doing something in the house that in me going to the store with her was disturbing whatever I was doing. And I didn't want to go. So I sucked my teeth, and she already stared at me crazy. So I knew I straightened that out. So then I'm walking with her to the store, and I'm never walking fast enough. So she's pulling me along. So now we in the store, and now she met all her damn girlfriends at the damn store, on the way to the store, in the store, back from the store. And
they gotta talk and catch up, and
and I'm impatient, and I want to get back. I think I was playing G.I. Joe or something, and I'm like, oh, you know how you just fidgeting around, and I'm like, "Auntie," and she's talking. She just slapped, like, not even slapped, like mushed me, like, go away, like. And it's like, she's like, "Yeah, then I went and I bought some carrots," and I'm like, "What the?" I look back at that stuff now. We learned respect inadvertently at a very young age. I remember at the same house, right? One of those weekend get-togethers. There was nothing really going on. It's just that everybody ended up there. My oldest aunt was the OG. And then there was my dad and, you know, his brothers and, you know, my uncles and stuff. And they'd be downstairs and look, man, everybody except my father, but everybody smoked cigarettes. Everybody smoked cigarettes. And there was no cancer back then, but that's a whole nother conversation. But everybody was puffing like chimneys. And they send me and my cousins, my brother, all the way upstairs. Right. And I would come down the steps like to go to the kitchen. But, you know, you're getting nosy because you're getting at that age. You're about 8 or 9 years old. You're like, what are they talking about? And why do they want all the kids to go upstairs? What's going on? So then you walk down the steps slow. And they would just stop and stare at you. What you want? You want something to drink? Go in that kitchen. Hurry up there, boy. Right? So then.
And don't come back down.
Right. Yeah. So then take your ass up. Now I done came down twice. Take your ass upstairs. Don't bring your ass back down here. Now here come my other cousins, whatever. Then my aunt stick her head up by the staircase, look up. Don't try to bring your mother effing asses back down here. Anybody need something up? There's a bathroom up there. Oh, y'all got y'all potato chips. Don't y'all bring your asses down here no more. You know what I mean? Now, my brother and I got older cousins. They were off doing their own thing, and they're like eavesdropping and finding out, oh, someone-so's sick. Oh, someone was doing this. Someone-so's doing that. Whatever. And it was, you know what I remember about those times? The association. The association was very important because after they done chewed the fat and chopped it up, it was time to eat. And then we all got to come. Now we mad because now we got to get off the video games and come downstairs, eat. And we was eating all kinds of stuff. There was everything down there. Chicken, pork chops, rice, mac and cheese. And again, this was just a normal like weekend. This wasn't like no holiday. It was just like hey man, we going to Earlene's, and then we go to yeah, you could tell my roots from the South. I had an aunt named Earlene.
Yeah.
And you know, we all met up over there.
Growing up, I sure did.
Yep. I had an Earlene.
Yours.
Earlene. I had an Aunt Ethel. I had my grandma's name was Ola.
What was it about certain aunties, whether they were blood or married into the family or whatever? They used to have that little mustache, man.
Oh,
what was up with that, man?
My aunt Ruby, she had a little, you know. And yo, you know what? You know what I noticed?
And they wasn't trying to be cosmetic and remove
no.
They walked around with it, man. Like,
and my aunts that did go to church, they wore those giant ass hats, and they were professional ass whoopers. You in that church and messed up, oh my God, do I got a story, bro? Yo, they all sitting in the front with those hats. I don't remember if it was Easter or something. Bro, look what Junior wrote. Yeah. I had an aunt named Ruby that had a mustache, bro. I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious. She was light-skinned and she had a little mustache. You got close. Stormy, I got pictures. I'll send it to you.
Man, I
was like, God damn, bro. So we in church, right? And we all sitting in the front. Now, I kept it meek. I was old enough. I knew better. My older brother, he knew better. But my cousin, Chris, So he's fidgety and he's climbing up on the chairs. He's looking around. And then all the hats turned towards us like, all right now. So then he's playing with a Bible. It fell on the floor. Boom. Pastor look and, you know. So then here go Earlene. And it's the death stare. I didn't even turn. I was just looking like, I ain't do it. I ain't even look over there. So then Chris still messing around. And I hear, because while pastor's preaching, I hear someone get up and you hear doom, doom, and they walk off. So then my brother, I heard him under his breath go, oh shit.
Oh, yeah.
And I knew. and then I heard the carpet. I heard the heels hitting the carpet. And out my peripheral, here go my Aunt Earlene, belt in hand. Whop! Whop! Chris is screaming, ah! Ah! Pastor didn't break a stride. And here go all the big hats. I'm looking straight ahead. Beat his ass. And now he's sitting there. And she says, shut up before I give. This is what I hate. Shut up, stop crying before I give you something to cry about. You just kicked his ass. You just kicked his ass. And I'm sitting there. Now I got older cousins, right? So they teenagers, they're laughing. They're like, you know why? Because they've been through it already.
We're 5 years removed. Yep. They know. It's like, wow, you got yours.
Yo, when it was time to go eat, they're like, yo, Chris, you all right? I was like, I know better, man. No, sir. I know better. Oh, man. I must have caught an ass whooping from every one of my aunts. My uncles ain't, you know, the men ain't do the whoop. Well, my dad. But it was the women. The women ran the house, dude, man.
Let me tell you something. I was on the bus, and the lady was trying to tell her kid to sit back. Now, I was small and young myself, so we riding on the bus, but the kid wouldn't sit still. And his mom like, okay, did you guys have in New York on the buses in the I want to say like the early 80s, late 70s, those seats, they were kind of thick and they had that coil cushion in them. You know, that's the older
on the old buses. Yeah, we had that.
Yeah. Okay, so he's sitting there and he kicking his shoes and he's rocking, and the lady, I take it was his mom. She's like, sit back. And the bus is driving, picking up people, more people getting on the bus, and he won't sit still, this guy. I'm looking across at him, right? Because I've been through what he getting ready to get, right? So I'm sitting there nice and quiet. My mom looks over at me like,
pay attention.
And dude is like still erratic or whatever. His mom said one more time, sit back. He ain't listen. So we go, and now the bus is like full of people because he's got people standing up and everything now too. Mm-hmm. I was peeping through the crowds because I wanted to see what was going to happen to him. He kept moving around, whatever. Man, that lady did one of them Walter Payton elbows to
what?
Boom! She hit him in his chest, and he was he was hollering. And then when he finally caught his breath, he did that silent cry.
Yes.
Man, I was sitting over there like this. My mom looked at me. She was like,
yep.
I was like,
I don't want no smoke.
Dude, that lady, when she elbowed dude, it was like she must have knocked him. You remember the movie Doctor Strange when he hit Peter Parker and knocked Spider-Man out of his body? Listen, when Marvel put that in the movie, like when the Ancient One hit the Hulk and Bruce Banner came out of him and stuff, it was like
around like, oh, am I dead?
The thing I thought about was when I was a kid and used to get hit like that. It's like, I'll choke the life out of your ass. That's the thing that I was like, oh shit, they put it in the movies now. They just make it look like it's the mystical one doing that shit. I can totally relate to that shit, bro. And your out-of-body experience, you looking back at your body that got hit, and you down there like, and you outside of your body looking at yourself like, I got to get back connected to my body. That shit is hilarious, bro. But it's real. You know what I mean?
It's real, bro.
These kids today don't know nothing about that, bro.
They don't know that. They don't. They don't know nothing about that, man. I know about. I must have caught it from every appliance in the household. I mean, I'm the middle kid, so my sister knew not she watched me, so she knew not to do shit. And my brother was just not like that. You know what I mean? It was always me. I was always into some shit. I done broke shit. You know what I'm saying? Everything, man. So I think I've got hit with curling irons, shoes, coat hangers, no wire hangers, mommy dearest, brushes, vases, pissed my uncle off so bad he threw a TV at me.
I got one for you. Mm-hmm. Now, your blood may curdle when I mention this. Extension cord.
Listen, it's the closest I got hit with an extension cord, and I said, oh, this is what it was when I watched Kunta get hit in Roots. I said, damn, this don't feel good at all. I caught it on the legs, on the back. And I didn't consider it abuse. I didn't. It was just an ass whooping.
I know one thing. Whatever you got it for, you didn't do that no more.
Yeah.
That was like a lesson from, okay, I know this is not for play. This is for real.
I was always in some shit I had no business being in. And what happened was I knew better, and then I got caught. And then I got that ass whooping, and I ain't do it anymore. I just never did it again. But I was always in some nonsense. But you
remember the rotary phones? We talked about this in one of our other shows, but I just wanted to revisit something about that. Because you had the one that'll sit like on the table in the living room.
Read Universal.
Dude.
Yeah.
It's like, huh?
Read Universal Truth's comment. I know he got fucked up. I know he got fucked up, man. Oh man. I know. Yo, Pops come home. He's like, yo, why is there a hole in the wall? Oh man, these damn kids. Oh.
And then you can't even explain why you did what you did. It's like, what made you jump off the garage? And now I got to take you to the emergency room because your ankle broke.
Yo, you know what? We were the original Jackass. When that shit came out in the 90s on MTV, I was like, yo, they just grown doing it. I said, we was doing that when we were kids, man. Yo, I remember there was yo, again, my cousin Chris. Yo, man, you know what I'll say about Chris? Every ass whooping he caught, he really didn't do it on purpose. We was upstairs playing video games or something, and there was a fly in the house, and it was bothering us. Yo, it lands on the window. He jumps up with his shoe and goes to hit it. Whole arm goes through the window, and his shoe go flying outside. And then here go my aunt. What is that? And he's standing there with his hand out through the glass, and he's like, oh, shit. And he turns it. He gives me the slow look, and I'm like, yo, bro, I just put down the joystick, and I walked out the room, bro. I said, you about to get fucked up. And my aunt came in there. She had on a nightgown and curlers in her hair. What the fuck did y'all do? I said, it wasn't me. She grabbed him by his hair. He's holding on. He was holding on because he was real skinny. And she's ragging him all around. What are y'all always playing? I was like, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. Why did y'all do that? Y'all, I didn't do anything. He said, Mom, there was a fly. So you break the window? Oh, man. He took his sneaker, his Converse, and went to slap the fly and went right through, and he threw his fucking sneaker out the window. It was like bang. I was like, why would you do that? Man, oh my God, bro. Oh my God, that was so funny.
Crazy stuff.
Oh,
but what I was going to say about that phone, you know, and they were only a couple of colors, right? There was this off reddish color that was almost like, it was a combination. It was like red with brown in it or something. It wasn't red like,
and it wasn't
red.
Quite brown, right?
Right.
It wasn't. Yeah, it was
that color or green, a dark olive green color, black. You know, every once in a while,
ugly, dull. They were dull colors.
Yeah, beige. Okay, that's the living room phone.
I had the mustard yellow one, and I had a black
one on the table, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But answer me this, and I think we talked about this in one of our other shows when we talked about it. But the phone in the kitchen that hung on the wall, why did that cord go to every room in the house? Dude, fucking 50-foot cord, bro. Listen, I know I ain't the only one.
Yo, wait a minute. How many? You ever been?
The doorbell can ring and moms could go answer the fucking front door, bro, from the kitchen.
Did you ever snatch it out your mom's hand by accident because you tripped over the cord?
Oh man, that's a beating. That's a beat down.
It's like, yo, I just woke up. Why are you sabotaging the house? That cord down the hall, up the stairs. It's like, what are you doing, bro?
Dude, that cord, and guess what? That cord didn't get a short in it.
No, it didn't. It worked forever.
Yo, the tab, you can end up breaking that tab on the end of it.
Right.
That plugs it in, right? But the cord, I don't care if you bend it, twist it, that cord never got a cord in it, bro.
That cord was about 75 feet. And it had the nerve to stretch.
Yeah.
Man, and you know what? You're right. It never got a short. Ever. It never got a short. You know when we got rid of ours? When the push button cordless came out.
Yeah.
That's when we finally got, but by then we had it for like a decade.
Yeah.
My mom be like, yo, the phone's ringing in the kitchen. Go get back in the days, y'all understand. If you had 2 phones in your crib, you was balling.
Yep.
Okay. If you had 2 colored TVs, you was balling. We had the big old TV that sat on the floor in the living room.
Floor model. Sometimes it had a stereo in it.
Yes.
The component set with the record player on the
record
top.
Player.
On the side.
That's right.
The doors open up like the cabinet, like it was the screen of the TV.
It was a unit. It was a unit, and it sat on. Mine's came from Sears. My dad bought it. I remember he got it for Christmas.
Ours came from Sears too.
Right. It from like 82. It was state of the art.
Heavy, bro.
Yeah.
It was heavy.
Yeah, you ain't want to hit that. You hit that with your toe.
It sat in one place in the house, you know.
Yep. And the second TV was a black and white TV, and it was in the kitchen. But then after a while, you know, my mom said, "Y'all boys go ahead and take that in the room." So we had a black and white TV in the bedroom. That was our first TV in the bedroom. And then my mom switched offices at her job, and she had a black rotaphone, and she brought it home. And she said, "Hey, put this in your room." He's like, "Oh man, we're gonna have a phone in our room." And it was, look, man, we old, man. And that was just so cool to have your own phone in your bedroom. So I remember we plugged it up, we heard the dial tone, and we sat down. Me and my brother sat around that phone with our arms folded, Indian style, watching the phone. And eventually it rang, and he answered it. He pushed me out the way, he picked it up, and it was my aunt. And that was the first phone call that we had in our room. I mean, rotaphones, man. Rotaphones, man. And that cord, Stormy, was, it might have been 100 feet. It might have been 100-foot cord, and then it had the nerve to stretch.
But that's why I mentioned, I was like, man, that damn cord was so long, bro. It would go all through the house, man.
Stormy, did you have that big ass wooden spoon and fork in your crib?
Shit, who didn't? I thought that was everybody's is hanging on the wall in the kitchen. The big ass, like you see my little pop screen thing for my mic. The spoon was big like that.
Yeah,
from the wall in the kitchen.
Yep.
Knife, spoon, fork.
Yep. Had that. You know why I'm asking? Because I was just at my dad just got stuff in his garage. And I looked down, I was moving something around. I looked. I said, oh, look at that. I said, look at that. That's crazy.
Did you all have those they used to call them, what was they call them? Black light, or those posters that they would make, and they were made out of like velvet or something, but they usually had somebody in the pool hall or something. Or they had a man and a woman, Aquarius, and all of that.
Yeah, not in my crib, but in my uncle's. Yes. Posters. And my uncle, my uncle used to be outside. I'll just say that.
And when you see that movie Black Dynamite, and when him and old girl get ready to throw down, they took that poster and animated it. Remember in the movie Black Dynamite, and that song came on. Oh baby, baby. And it was like, but that's the poster I'm talking about. It's like they used to have those. Did you have a red or a blue light bulb? Oh yeah,
I remember that.
Dude, when I got my first studio apartment, I had a blue light bulb I put in.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was doing.
Hey man, you know what that was. I was a little young, but I knew what it was for, because I had older cousins. And, I got go in the room, play the Atari, don't come out. And I stick my head out. Me and my younger cousins, we stick our head out. I was like, oh, he in there with a girl, because we see the red light. And his living room used to have doors on it, so you shut the doors. He in there with the red light with his girlfriend. Man, that was funny as hell, man. Steve L says his brother had the green one.
And the pictures of Robert and John Kennedy and Martin Luther King. Hanging in people's houses.
Yep.
Right?
John F. Kennedy was that era's Bill Clinton as far as identifying with the people. I remember that poster. I remember that.
Salute to EJ over there in the Rumble app. He says with the donation, appreciate you, man. He says, phenomenal topic for Nerds on Culture and my sensei and the mighty LDBC. Hey, man, and you see I'm wearing that shirt today too, EJ. I don't know if you caught me earlier in the show when I said it before we got to cooking, but thank you for the shirt. But yeah, man, all of that kind of stuff. Oh, because somebody in the house always smoked, whether it was your mom, your dad, your auntie, somebody, right? And if it was somebody who would only come over but nobody smoked, they would break the ashtrays out. That's why I'm going to talk about the ashtrays. Dude, do you all have them heavy ass glass ashtrays?
Them things were weapons, man. What you talking about?
Dude, they would sit on the damn table, but they were heavy. I mean, that thing weighed like 2 pounds.
Bro, listen. My Aunt Earlene, man. My Uncle Mac was a retired Marine. And he used to get the crates of cigarettes at discounts. And my aunt used to smoke Virginia Slims. Because she was such a lady. She had the long Slims.
I was just getting ready to say, the ladies like to smoke the Virginia Slims.
Virginia Slims, right? And she used to sit and she used to make blankets. She used to knit all day and watch game shows and watch her soap operas. And if I did something in the crib and got in trouble, there was like a one seat, and she was like, go sit your ass there, don't move. And it was the worst thing in the world. You know what I'm saying? But the dog knew I was messed up, because I'd be sitting there pouting, and the dog would just sit there and stare at me. because you know I was upset. But she smoked Virginia Slims, and I remember she had this ashtray, and I swear to God, Stormy, that could have doubled as a weapon. It was so heavy, and it had like 10 compartments where you could rest your cigarettes on it. And you know what was on her glass table? The coffee table. It was a jar with peanuts in it, and she had the canister with the cookies in it.
Yeah.
And you know what was hell for kids? When you go to that canister looking for cookies and there was just knitting equipment in there. That is the worst. Don't do that to children.
Why did women put all the sewing threads and needles and stuff in those cookie tin cans?
I guess it was the best way to hold it, I guess, but why the cookie can?
That's what they would put it in.
Man, I went in there looking for my favorite cookie out of that can was this. It was the all of them were sugar cookies. It was a sugar cookie.
I
with
used
the
to like the
sugar
one
on it.
that was like a what do you call it? Butter cookie. The butter cookie one.
The butter cookies was good. You remember the one that was looked like a pretzel with the sugar crystals on it? That was my favorite one. She used to feed me now, and she kept that in the house. She kept the peanut butter cookies. And you know what she put me on to? It was an old people snack. Stella D'or breadsticks. That's what I don't know why. My aunt just the old people's meal. She used to eat Stella D'or breadsticks. She smoked Virginia Slims. And when she did take me to McDonald's, I'm like, all right, let me get it. Mike, you want to know how old I am? You watch this, y'all. Watch this, y'all. You ready? When I went to McDonald's, the chicken McNugget wasn't invented yet. It's the early 80s, y'all. Late 70s, early 80s. There was no chicken nuggets. You know, it wasn't. Matter of fact, I don't even think there was any chicken sandwich on there. You know what was on there? The fish sandwich.
Do you know when McDonald's was a real edible product? I'm gonna test the knowledge on the burger from the back in the day. And this goes back into, I know you know, from the 80s, but let's just say late 70s, crossing over into the early 80s. McDonald's best burger was their hamburger or cheeseburger.
That's it. Plain up. No double, nothing. There was no quarter pounder with cheese invented. That wasn't around.
That was their best burger, and it tasted like a burger. It was like, back then, it was something else. And Burger King had the best fish sandwich in the world, the Whaler.
It did.
The Whaler with cheese was the best fish sandwich in the world. And that sucker was huge. The piece of fish that they put on that, it was, and the Whopper was really a large burger.
Right.
It was a large burger.
Right.
And the Whaler was actually the fish sandwich version of a Whopper because of the size of the sandwich. And they put a little tartar sauce on it and a little lettuce. And that was what they did. But McDonald's had the best tartar sauce though. And we used to always say, man, if we could get the Whaler with the McDonald's tartar sauce, it was like, that would be awesome right there, you know.
Yeah, my aunt, right, when the weather got good, the chicken McNugget came out in 83. So we're talking about 80, 81. I was like 5 or 6. So then there was a McDonald's that was in walking distance from where my aunt used to live. So when the weather got nice, she was like, yo, go ahead, put your shoes on. We're going to walk up to McDonald's. I'm like, yeah, we're going to McDonald's. I would get a cheeseburger and some French fries. And she would get a fish sandwich and a Sanka.
Dude, it's funny that you said that. Yeah, let's go to McDonald's. There was one scene in Black Belt Jones where they said that exact line. Do you remember that scene?
Yes, I do, bro.
When Jim Kelly was he was in the phone booth on the phone, and he was, they was, I forget what Pop's name was on the karate school, but he had got killed or whatever, Scatman Crothers' character, and Jim Kelly was trying to take over and run things. But he was on the phone talking to the bad guys or whatever, and he was like, "Man, I'm gonna be over there." Blah blah blah. He hangs up the phone, and the rest of the students from the karate school were standing outside the phone booth, and he opens the door, the phone booth, and says, "All right, let's go to McDonald's." And everybody,
let's go to McDonald's.
Like, it's in Black Belt Jones, bro. It's in there. It's like,
yeah, that was great. When my aunt was sitting, and then we go to McDonald's. I eat my food. I'm ready to go. Her girlfriend's there too, so she got to talk. And you know what I remember too? Now this how old we are, y'all. Listen, back in the day, McDonald's used to have little tin ashtrays on the tables, and you could smoke inside.
They sure did. They were kind of like a silverish gold color.
That's right. Now, my uncle, he smoked too, but he was a Marlboro man. Do you remember the cigarette commercial, Stormy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't you remember in, what was it? The X-Men movie when Wolverine woke up in the 70s?
The 70s,
when
yeah.
He sent them back, and he looked out the window, and there was the Marlboro man with the smoke coming out of his mouth. Yep. Remember that? And that was actually in New York.
Yep.
At that time, they had that big, huge, giant billboard on top of that building with the Marlboro man.
Yep. That's right.
And I was like, whoa, I remember that because what was that? Days of Future Past?
Days of Future Past, yeah.
When she sent him back into the 70s.
Right.
And he woke up and he was in the bed and he looked outside and they showed, I was like, oh man, they made it look like it was 1975.
Yeah, that was great. That's the year I was born, man. So I remember, man. She had a Virginia Slims, and running to all her girlfriends. Hey, girl, hey, and they just sitting down smoking. And I'm trying to eat my French fries and my cheeseburger, and then we walk back.
Do you remember that they used to have mail order catalogs?
Yes.
And like everything, like especially for holiday time, Christmas time coming around, they used to have these thick catalogs. And what we used to do, we used to like to look at the catalogs because all the toys that was in there.
Yes.
We go straight to the toy section of that catalog.
Yes.
The chat. And man, we'd be like, man, I want this. I gotta have that. Just looking through the mail, I forget what the damn company was, because it was basically one company across the United States.
I can't think of that, but I know the magazine though. I can't think of it.
Dude, yes, the green stamps, bro.
Oh shoot.
Yes.
Oh. Man.
H&H green stamps, was it? Something like that. But yeah.
Green stamp.
All of the stuff that these people of today that have no idea, no clue, man. And we lived for this stuff. That catalog. Because here in Chicago, one of the warehouses for that catalog was here in Chicago on Cermak Street, not far from Comiskey Park. And they used to mail those out because you would get those and then the old yellow pages and white pages. Those thick old books, the yellow pages and the white pages. They used to use those books for kids as a booster seat.
In the barbershops.
In the barbershops and stuff, they put the damn yellow pages and white pages there.
Yep.
And speaking of that, and I was going to say this because we were talking about the phones earlier and the house phones. Drew, did you remember? Did you guys have, like, I know because y'all got subway and train stations there, just like we got, or, you know, what we call RTA, rapid transit, whatever. Y'all might have a different name for it in New York, but it's basically the transportation system. Guys would get on and they say, I got an ID wallets with a phone book in it. And then they'd be selling like wallets with the phone book. And, you know,
Oh, yeah,
dude,
yeah.
dude. But this is the thing about the phone books. We used to memorize every freaking number we had in the phone book. We knew the numbers,
Yes.
memorized.
Yep.
Even though we carried the book, we memorized the numbers. Dude, we can't even memorize numbers today.
Nope.
We don't.
Nope.
Society has been dumbed down so much that we do not retain information like we once did. Because the first number that I learned was my home phone number.
Yep.
The next number that I learned was my dad's job number.
That was mine too.
And then we learned the school number, the neighbor's number, the neighbor that checks on you.
Yes.
And it went from there. It was like, and I still to this day remember my very first phone number that I still remember it.
In my mind, I have over 20 numbers. And this is family, friends, and my parents and my relatives' job numbers. Because we were latchkey kids.
Yes.
You go to school, you know what I'm saying? My older brother, you know, my mom would leave for go to work early in the morning. She would leave it up to him. Get these other two mofos up and out the house. So he be like out the house and I go to school, but he was the first to come home. And, you know, he'd have to check in. You know what I mean? He had to check in. And I remember my first number was my house, my dad's office. He had two office numbers. I remember those. My mother's desk, my uncles, my aunts. So who else is it? My aunts? No. I think my uncle had a work number. Yeah, he did. He had a work number. You know, but no one ever answered that damn phone. But the neighbors and like a bunch of my friends, I got over 20 numbers in my mind. Everyone's house number. These cell phones made us very lazy, man. Very, very lazy.
Yeah. And the little phone book that we used to carry.
Yeah.
And I kid you not, on average, that phone book, because it had an A through Z phone logging, I had a minimum of 30 numbers in there, minimal, you know, but I knew them. I knew the numbers. I sound like 78 talking about Leonard Ellerby. I know the numbers.
I know the numbers.
Yeah. But yeah, I knew the numbers in the book. So sometimes even when you lost your book, if you replace it right away, you could just go in and put the. But if you went a long time without it, you really have to. Look, you salute to you, General. Hey, General, you want to come up with us, man? I can send you a link.
Oh, that's
funny. But you know, that was something that we did. You know, just being able to retain the information, man. Just amazing stuff.
Retaining information, man. That's be different now, man. What was the dumbest thing you've done in school?
I picked a fight with this girl named Tawana.
Oh shoot!
And I liked Tawana. I think we were in 3rd or 4th grade. I think it might have been fourth grade. But I liked Tawana, and I used to sit behind her, and I was always playing with her hair. And she says, "Boy, stop playing in my hair," because she had these long ponytails.
Mhm.
And playing with her ponytail, and she turned around and punched me in my nose.
No.
Now, oh, okay, I got you, 78.
Yes, sir.
Listen, Tawana was a rough child. She was, though she was cute, but she grew up on a certain side of town and everything, family, siblings, all of that kind of stuff. So when she punched me in the nose, she punched me in the nose, bro.
Yeah, it was a real hit.
Blood everywhere.
Damn.
That and it was like we're like 3 or 4 grades later, right?
Yeah.
This brother named Andre, he's on Facebook. Andre, he was still making jokes about me getting punched in the nose by Tawana. He's like, "Hey man, remember Tawana?" He would do like this.
Jerk.
Remember Tawana? But
You
that was
jerk.
the stupidest thing I ever did in school. Playing with that girl hair, and I paid for it. I ain't ashamed to say it, but it's like it was stupid. It was like, but when we were kids, we did stupid stuff. It was like if you liked the girl, you would punch her or kick her or do something stupid to her, right? And girls would do the same stuff. If they liked the boy, they would do something stupid. It was like, but you're children. You don't know what you're doing. You're just doing jacked up stuff.
The dumbest thing that I did, right? Well, I did a few. Damn. All right, let me pick one. All right, all right. This one was embarrassing because, of course, I'm all the way in high school, right? And I used to cut this class that I knew I could pass, but of course, I was cutting this class to go hang out with this girl. You know what, man? And I told the story on Pep Talk, but it bears repeating. My dumb ass leaves the school, right? Now, I know, I said, I've been doing this for like 2-3 weeks. The teachers don't reprimand you. They just cut the middleman and contact your parents. And I said, I'm gonna get in trouble for this, but I'm trying to get at her. You know what I'm saying? So my dumb ass, the time that I was cutting that class, she was already done. She didn't have an 8th period. I had a 7th and an 8th. So I was cutting the 7th to go hang out with her and then going back into the building to go to the 8th period if I felt like it. But if I really felt like I was making some sedgway, I would cut the last 2 classes. I was doing that for like almost a month. And I was, buying heroes like sandwiches and splitting it with her. Or sometimes I bought her own, and she would complain about what, like, she liked my boy Martin, and I found that out like a week later. But my boy Martin was a player for real. He was light skinned. He had a high top fade like Kid and Play, because Kid and Play was in style, and they used to call him Kid because he had a high top fade, right? And he was slim at the time, whatever. He was a ladies' man. So I'm like, all right, But I said, said Martin, you do know, because Martin messed with chicks, and he didn't hide it. All the chicks knew about it. So I said, you want to get at him? And, I like your boy or whatever. I'm like, all right. So I'm thinking the more I hang out with her, the more I'm going to grow on her. I'm young. I didn't know any better, right? The whole time we hung out, it was Martin, and then there was this other dude. And I'm buying her sandwiches. I'm feeding this bitch. Yeah, she a bitch now, right? She a bitch now, but I'm feeding her, buying her shit. You know what I'm saying? And cutting school. Now this is the thing she didn't ask me to buy her shit. I just did it. She didn't ask me to cut school. I just did it. And I'll never forget this. The last straw for me was, right? I thought I was making some segue because now I got to holding her hand. Just listen to her talk about other dudes, but now I'm holding her hand, right? Now look, this is what happened, Stormy, and I swear to God this happened. I swear this happened. Because when it happened, I went home mad. I'm looking back at it now, it's something comical.
But I guess my best wasn't good.
Oh, bro, I'm holding her hand. I went from like locking pinkies with her to now it's pinky in the ring, and now I'm just holding her hands like this, and now we're like this. So I'm like, yeah, man. I said, look, man, these dudes you chasing, they ain't no good. You know what I'm saying? I like you. Let's get together. Let's do something. You know what I'm saying? I want to be a man. You know what she did to me, Stormy? She said, yeah, you cool and all, but, I like you like a brother. And she rubbed my shoulder and patted me on the head. I like you like a brother. Yo, ever got that feeling in your chest? Like, I went from liking her to like wanting to like kick her. Like Hulk kick her. Remember when Hulk kicked motherfucker into the tree? I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, what just happened? And I remember having this dumb look on my face like, and Stormy, that wasn't the worst part. She takes a bite out of the sandwich that I bought her. We keep walking. Well, she kept walking. And as she's walking away, I'm like looking around like, did she just pat me on the head? And she walked off, continued talking about this other dude, and it started raining. It started raining. At that moment, I swear to God, it started raining. And I'm standing there like, what the fuck? And I look up, she got my goddamn umbrella. Didn't even say, yo, come on. She walked off, eating the sandwich with my umbrella, and it's raining on me. That was God like, bruh, wait. She created a supervillain right there. Because this was me. I was like, word, okay. I heard the bell from outside. I was like, yo, I'm gonna holler at you later. I took my umbrella back, went in the building. I was sick. I went in the 8th period. My boy was like, you all right? What happened? Because back in the 90s, you wander too far off and find some unfamiliars, you might get jumped. I came in there like I looked like I had a fight. Like, yo, what happened? I was like, nothing. Yo, you all right? No. Yo, somebody else? No, nothing, I'm good. I was fuming. I stopped going outside. Of course, I got in trouble. My dad called, hey, man, I got a call from such and such, and what you mean you're not in class? And like, I'm sorry, Dad. I'm sorry. I was cutting school. I was having problems, but I'm all right. I'll never do it again. Bro, she started asking me, why are you not coming outside no more? I went out, kept my hands in my pocket. I kept it short. She's like, oh, we not going to the deli? No. A couple of days later, I went to deli, bought myself a sandwich. I ain't share that shit with her. I wanted her to know, like, bitch, nah, being nice to you you can still talk. You can still talk about all these dudes that don't want you. I'll listen. I ain't buying your shit no more. Fuck that. I learned an important lesson. I turned into Dr. Doom at that moment. You burnt my face and I gotta wear this shit. Nah, man. No. Talking around me. Yo, man, Jessica, that was her name. Jessica said you mad at her. Whatever. I said, yeah, I am. I ain't hide it. I said, yo, look, man, I'm cutting school, buying her food and shit and all this. I said, yo, she always talking about Martin, and I forgot this other cat name. You know what I'm saying? And she gonna fucking pat me on the head and walk off with my umbrella, man. If I said she rude, man, fuck her. I'm cool. I ain't care if they went back and told her. I said, nah, I'm chilling. I'm chilling. And Stormy, guess what happened? About a year and a half later, We're talking because it's all out my system. I'm cool. We're talking. She in front of my building. We're talking. She hits me with the, why we never got together? I was on the football team. I wasn't on the wrestling team, but I could beat all those niggas. I got a little louder because I was angry. So I turned heads. And you know what happened, Stormy? I was never like, I was always with the in crowd, but I started catching the attention of the in crowd. I was sitting at their lunch table now. And I learned that women, they think you're cute, but they're attracted to power. See, my boy Martin was a ladies' man, and she wanted him because other women wanted him. The other dude she was attracted to, he lived on the other side of town where there was a lot of bad mofos over there. So she was attracted to that power. But I ain't had no problem with nobody because I was always big. But I kept to myself. I was a nerd or whatever, but I kept to myself. But I wasn't like, I never got bullied. I wasn't like that. You couldn't bully me. But I played football, and then when I got mad, I just got loud with mine, and I started turning heads. Oh, he a tough guy. And I wasn't tried. No one tried me like that. I was really acting out because that one situation set me off. I didn't bully anybody or nothing like that, but I had like an awakening. And then guess what, Stormy? Other women, other girls started to notice me. What's your name? Oh my God, how are you? Oh, you used to be so quiet. I started messing with these other chicks, and then all of a sudden, I'm in front of the building, and she's talking to me like she didn't, when I told her I liked her, like the year prior, she patted me on the head and said, I like you like a brother. And I'm saying to myself, this bitch acting like she don't remember saying. I said, all right. When she said, why we never got together? I said, I don't know. That's what I said. I don't know. I said, you don't play with me. Magically, she got ugly right there because I was doing other things. Man, that bro, I learned the valuable lesson. Dude, that was 10th grade, bro. That was 10th grade. I learned that. I was crazy. I was so mad. I was like, yo, what the fuck did she just say to me? And of course, the dudes my boy Martin was a player. And she knew that. The other dude, I didn't know him like that, but he was on that same type of time. And she's talking to me about him, and my dumb ass buying her sandwiches. Turkey cheese. I don't even like mayonnaise. Putting mayonnaise on it. Man, get out of here, man. Ridiculous. That was the first and only time I ever simped. Crazy work, man. Crazy work.
Yeah.
But that was the dumbest thing. Cut school for that crap. But Storm, if you just saw it, I could do a skit about it. Because I'm not kidding. When she did that and turned around and walked off with my umbrella, it started raining on me. I swear to God that happened. And I was fuming like, what the fuck? Is it raining? Where's my umbrella? Oh, she got it. Man. Oh, I remember going back into kicking the door open, sitting down. Like, what happened? You good? I'm all right, man. Yo, somebody jumped you? I'm all right. I'm good. I was like, oh. I was pissed. That was over a girl, bro. A girl named Jessica. Fuck you. Nah, I'm playing. We were friends on Facebook for a minute. I ain't on Facebook like that no more, but she all right, man. That was funny. Oh, man. Callie, what up? We see you. Salute.
Man, oh man.
I cut school to buy a video game. I did do that. I got in trouble for that, but I bought it. I saved up what little money I had because I knew it was coming out. And before I went to school, so my brother thought, and then I ran back into the building, went upstairs. Toys R Us opened at 9 a.m. and I called them and I said, yo, you got Pit Fighter for the Sega Genesis? They was like, we only got 3. We just got it. And I ran over there and bought it. It cost me about $40 at that time.
Do you remember when VHS players came out? Do you remember how expensive movies were at the time?
I heard I wasn't buying shit, but I heard, yeah, I
Yeah,
heard.
one of my first VHS tapes that I bought, I saved my little money up to buy. I paid almost $80.
For a tape?
Yeah, that's what they
Oh
were.
man.
Brand new.
Damn.
A movie, Bruce Lee's Fist of Fury.
Wow.
I still have it.
You have the actual tape?
Yeah, hold on a second.
Awesome.
Hold on a second. I'm gonna show it to you.
Oh man. The first VCR my Uncle Gary had, you used to have to put the tape in the top and push it down. And the remote had a cord attached to the actual machine. It wasn't no hands-free, it wasn't no wire-free remote. Crazy stuff, man. But how cool was it when you first got the VCR and you was able to rewind a tape? Watch this, y'all. How many of y'all had a separate rewinder for your VHS tapes? And if you returned the tape to where you rented it, because we had a rent spot that used to be around where I live now, or if you returned it to Blockbuster and it was unrewound, they charged you for it. They charged you about 50 cents for not rewinding the tape, because now they got to rewind the damn tape. Yeah, man. Blockbuster nights. Yeah, remember that? Go get yourself a, the Blockbuster. I had a Blockbuster membership when we stayed in Florida for a summer. Had a membership out there. Then there was what was the other? Was it RFK video? RK video, something like that? And there was a Hollywood video around my way back in the day. Used to rent stuff from there all the time. Man, things have changed, man. This new era, y'all got it so good. Y'all have no idea, man. Y'all have no idea. Everything is at your fingertips, man. It's a good thing, but it's a bad thing, like remembering phone numbers, man. Oh, man. But if I can go in a time machine and just walk around and look at stuff, man, I would love to do that. Hell yeah, man. Yeah, it was the first VCR tape. I don't remember. I remember my Uncle Gary when he first had the VHS. My aunt said, "Gary, where'd you get that?" And he gave it a look. It fell off a truck. I said, "Oh, this motherfucker, man." And he hooked it up, and we was like, "Ooh, ah!" He hooked it up to that big ass TV on the floor of the living room, and it was just amazing. We was like, "Hit fast forward," and it would fast forward, and the people started moving real fast. We was like, "Oh, look at that, rewind," right? And guess what? There was no slow motion. You know how you used to do the slow motion? You play with the pause button, tap it. Man, that was, my goodness, man. That's some great stuff, man. But the first movie he had, I don't recall. I don't recall what he had. Oh, I'm not sure if it's his first, but he had Smokey and the Bandit. He did have that. He had that, and he was coming in with some movies, man. Smokey and the Bandit. He had Crow. We spoke about Crow a couple of shows ago. He had Crow, Smokey and the Bandit, the original Flash Gordon. Flash. He had that. Then my dad was able to get a hold of some movies, and then my dad got a hold of a VCR, and they connected both of them, and they started dubbing tapes. It was great, man. It was great. It was great, man.
Yeah, man. Check it out. See this?
Yeah.
This is the VHS for Chinese Connection and Fist of Fury.
Yeah.
And these suckers, dude, they went for like damn near $80.
Damn. Damn.
Brand new.
Brand new. You think those are worth something? Like now?
To me, they are. Like, to me, they're worth something, but
Yeah.
you know, there's not a lot of. Now, you know what's interesting, that before DVD came along, there were laser discs,
Right.
but I never got the chance to invest in a laser disc player or whatever. And
My
then
boy had one.
the technology changed pretty quickly
Right.
and went to DVD.
The Laserdisc looked like a giant album, but it looked like a big old
Movie on the vinyl.
Yeah. My boy had a few movies. He had King of New York on Laserdisc. He had a Laserdisc player. But that technology came out. It was around for like maybe a year or two. And
Yeah, it came in the late 80s. Yeah.
Yeah, it did.
Now, what was interesting about these two that I see, because later, when second editions or prints of these came out in the 90s, I ended up picking up Way of the Dragon and Enter the Dragon. So I would have all of them, you know.
Right.
But I heard you talking about stuff because I was just a few feet away. But one of the things that I hated that I gave up, I got rid of, discarded, was my tape rewinder.
Yeah.
And I don't know what I was just in a moment of discarding things, but that was something that I shouldn't got rid of, because I have a lot of VHSs of fights, and the tape rewinder, it saves the wear and tear on your player, you know. So I think I could pick one up used somewhere, but you don't know how long it's going to work or whatever. It's like the one that I had. I was the kind of person, I think you understand this too, being similar. I always took care of my equipment.
Yeah.
You know, I've got a dual DVD player, VHS player, just a couple feet from me, connected to my monitor here, because I can still watch my movies on VHS while I'm down here, or I could watch a DVD.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Amazon has a device where you can connect it to your TV, to your VCR, and you get a scan disc card. And while it's playing, it's loading onto the device, and you could transfer it MP4 onto your computer. I'm going to buy it because I have a lot of fights. My dad used to record. He got NBC fights, ABC fights. He got a bunch of stuff on there, bro.
I have them like that too. That's why I say I probably have over 1,500 fights on recorded on VHS.
I think he has the Terry Noids versus Sugar Ray Leonard fight. It's down there somewhere.
I got that.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a lot. Because I ran into this guy. His name was Brian Nix, and this was in the early 90s when I ran into Brian. The mid 90s actually. Because my friend Derek, you know, being a professional fighter, he introduced me to Brian, because Brian was a photographer, and he would, you know, when fighters come to town for conventions or press conferences and stuff, he would always be there. When fights were held in Chicago, he would always be there. He filmed fights. He'd also be the guy that fighters would contact when they wanted to get fight footage on a fighter that they're going to fight. That's how much he was involved in making tapes for people. And I lost contact with Brian. He moved from where I last knew him to be, but he was a very cool guy. And he hooked me up with some some fight tapes of fights that I missed when I didn't have HBO. Because I had asked him, I said, hey, I have an interest in certain fights, like the heavyweight division before Mike Tyson became champion, and the guys who were opposite Larry Holmes, the
Right.
Greg Pages, and Michael Dokes, and all those guys when they were young guys. Tim Witherspoon,
Right.
man, he hooked me up with all of these VHSs, bro, and they're just timeless. Watching all of that stuff, and
Yeah, man.
I keep them in a cool, dry place. They all wrapped up. So but if I wanted to go and pull something out to watch it, I got it, and they're all labeled and everything.
There was a guy in Manhattan off of 34th Street. He had like a booth. It wasn't even a full store. His boy used to sell coats and gloves and scarves, and his booth, he had HBO Boxing After Dark, all the heavyweight title fights, all the fights on Showtime and everything. He used to play them on there, and I used to walk by there all the time. And every time I walked past that place, I ain't had no goddamn money. I was like, I was doing something down there with my mom's, and I used to walk by that booth all the time. He used to have them playing. He had the combination of the TV with the VCR in it. And I'm like, man, I want to he had a whole archive of stuff. I said, man, I want to buy everything there. And he was only selling those things. There were like 3 fights on a tape. And he was selling them for like $10.
Yeah.
I wasn't working at the time. I'm like, damn, I want to buy these damn things. This is the device right here.
Yeah. Okay.
It's Amazon. $150.
Mm-hmm.
It's called what is it called? It's called Clear Click. What the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is an excellent purchase. I'm gonna buy it. Clear Click Video to digital converter. VCRs, VHS tapes, camcorders, everything. You could plug this in, and you play the tape, and it has a HDMI port and all that stuff. You play the tape, it loads up in here. You put a disc in it. You like a memory card, not a disc, a memory card, and you just transfer all your stuff.
Yeah, I see it. I just pulled it up on my device here.
Yeah, I got a lot of gems. Got a lot of gems. Got a lot of gems, man. I got, my dad, when we went to Florida one year, he had a camcorder. And we was in Disney World with the camcorder. Man, that was great. And then we went to MGM Studios a couple of years later when they built that, and he rented a camcorder again. That's some great stuff, man. Great stuff.
Hey, I finally used that feature of the generated clips.
Yeah.
And I uploaded a few of them. Man, a few of them got hundreds of views already.
Hey, man, that stuff works. That stuff works, man.
Yeah. You doing pep talk tonight?
No, I'm not gonna do it tonight. Actually got some things I gotta do. And tomorrow after the live, I gotta get off on time because I gotta run some errands tomorrow too. But yeah, I gotta do some videos. I gotta, bust some moves and
hey,
damn, I got
Fandango sent me a message. I don't know why. It said that tickets on sale. Primate hits theaters January 9th. Get your tickets now.
Yo, you know, I already did something with that advertisement, right? You know, I already did something, right? I already did something, and I'm gonna wait until next Tuesday. Wait until next Tuesday. Oh, matter of fact, I'm gonna text it to you right now. Bro.
Oh my goodness. Can't make this stuff up, man.
Hold on, I'm gonna send it to you right now. I'm sending it to you right now. As soon as you send it to me, I was like, yo, bro, wait, watch this shit. Oh boy. Where's that? There it is. And I'm gonna add something to it, but I started with that. Check your phone.
Oh man.
Is anything with apes is hilarious to me. Anything with apes, chimpanzees, monkeys, it's hilarious, man.
You know what's funny? It's still in my mind when I was talking earlier and saying about knowing the numbers. And then I said, I sound like 78 now. I know the numbers doing and Leonard Ellerby. And then he wrote laugh out loud in the chat. It's like, because he hadn't written in the chat. That's hilarious to me right there. This 78 was straight up watching. You never know when somebody watching, but it's like, you know, it's crazy, man.
Never know.
Again, like, this is why we do this show, man. We have so much fun on it. We find things that we could laugh about, man, things we could get upset about, you know. Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, man. I done told that story so many times, man. That shit still, that was a learning experience, man. I share that with all the youngsters with that. I'm like, yo, don't be me. 10th grade. This is what happened to me.
Don't be me. Don't be pulling on no girl's hair either, you know. Especially with, you know, not until they tell you to pull. Pull my hair.
Oh man.
You gotta wait.
You gotta wait. You wait till it's requested.
Yeah.
Requested, leave her alone. Good stuff, man. I'm on run, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna get ready to shut it down.
Great show, man.
Another good show. It's like,
you know, we always, this show will never get old because we always got shit to talk about because we have real childhood, man. We have real childhood, man. Real ones.
Final thoughts.
Yeah, another slam dunk. We got through another year. And I can't believe we how many shows up now? 148. Damn.
Yeah, 148. And that's even, you know, taking a couple of weeks off here and there, you know, or whatever. We could easily be at probably close to 200.
Easily.
You know.
This is
that's just life. It's, you know, life gets in the way, but not in the way. But and then our dedication to what we do, you know. And
yeah.
Being able to do this stuff.
Yeah, Dee's saying we got to open the panel soon. Well, we was going to do it tonight, but you know what we should do? Our first open panel, if we could wait that long, should be after the first Doomsday movie. For the supporters of that Marvel universe, so we can have the dialogue about how good it was, or if they liked it, if they didn't like it. You know what I mean? I think that'll be pretty dope.
Or we don't necessarily have to wait that long. We could do a 2-part open panel show about the culmination of Phase 3 with Infinity War and Endgame.
Okay.
The the first show would be centered around Infinity War. The second show would be centered around Endgame, and what those films did with the culmination of Phase 3, Phase 1, 2, and 3, bringing together the close of the Infinity Saga. Because this show started long after that was done. So to be able to revisit that, the impact it had, um, I still, I haven't gone back and watched film in a while. Because for a while I was watching my Marvel stuff. I'd go back and watch something and go back and watch. But I haven't really gone back and watched any of that stuff for a while. And I think it's because of the effects of Phase 4 and Phase 5. I think that's what really did it.
Right.
But what I wanted to say is there were certain elements when they were hitting certain keys and they were doing a damn good job. Like iconic moments. Like you remember when Wanda and we could talk about this on that show, but just reflecting back, you remember when Wanda and Vision were being attacked by what's the name? Carl Bassizian, whatever the guys that work for Thanos.
Right.
They were being attacked. And then Captain America stepped out of the shadows.
That's an iconic moment right there.
Man, that moment right there, when in the audience, it's like people went crazy. Stuff like that. It's like, because it took me back to even being a kid in the theater when you would cheer for something. Like I remember when watching Superman 2 in the movies, when the 3 Kryptonians had really wrought destruction. Clark had his depowering of no longer being Kal-El, and the Kryptonians had taken over, and Lex Luthor had teamed up with them, and it was just all maddening. And when they attacked the Daily Planet and were getting ready to go after Perry White and Jimmy Olsen and Lois Lane, and then there was this moment where the Superman music theme started to play slowly, and they showed this newsstand, and the papers on the newsstand start blowing away. And then you heard that dun, 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 and then they show Superman fly up outside the window and land on the flagpole. And he does like this.
Yeah.
Would you like to step outside?
Oh, you like to step outside? Oh.
That
General,
was
you like to step outside.
Cinematic, man. You know what I'm saying?
Cinematic
Lex
right
Luthor
there.
was like, Superman. Because all of them said Superman. But Lex Luthor said, Superman. Thank God. And then Zod looked at him and he was like, get him.
He said, Superman, thank God. Oh, no, get him. Why do you say this to me? You know I will kill you for it. He played the hell out of Zod, man.
He did, man. And for the longest time, that's what people remember. And he had fun with that all of his life afterwards, because he said people would see him on the streets and stuff and say things to him. He even said that there was a guy that tried to stick him up or something, but didn't know it was him. And then when he spoke to the guy and he was like, "You're General Zod." And he was like, "That's right. And you better run right now." And he said the guy took off, man. What? It was like, yeah, he was shocked that it was Terrence Stamp,
Oh, shit.
He had a lot of fun with being Zod. It's unfortunate that he passed
Yeah.
a couple years back. But Terrence Stamp was great, man. A great actor too.
Year before
Yeah.
Zod. Man, that was
But
great.
yeah, man. Thanks again, Drew,
No
for
doubt, bro.
helping me with this show and bringing what you bring to it, because there are a lot of identifiable factors that we both bring to this process, and I think we help enlighten our viewers and their experience and their recollections of youthfulness and everything. And it's important to be able to tap into that from time to time. You don't have to live like an adolescent, but it's nice to be able to reminisce and go back and then even share with your own children, when you have these type of memories and things
That's
as
right.
such. So,
That's right.
but yeah, family, we're going to get ready to check out. I thank everybody for tuning in. There are links in the chat, as well as the banner that's scrolling at the bottom of the screen, where there's the email if you want to leave suggestions for what you would like to hear as a topic on a future episode. The Cash App and PayPal links are in that. Also, the Streamlabs tip option is there. I just added that and the Streamlabs merchandise link to the banner. So you guys, any information that you need, if you don't feel like going to the description box, it's scrolling right there at the bottom on the banner. But we're going to get ready, head on out of here. I want to say shout out to the mighty LDBC, and we look forward to catching you guys on the next one. Peace to everybody. Enjoy the rest of your week, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, brothers.
Until next year.
Peace.